Hey everybody, Pastor Michael here, and welcome back to SGT Discovery Kids, where we discover every week what God is teaching us in His Word. Now, last week we learned that the animal of the week was the bison or the buffalo, and some of you guys were like, is the buffalo really your favorite animal, Pastor Michael? And it is, and so I wore my favorite buffalo sweater for you to see that it is actually my favorite animal. And I hope you guys watched last week's video and continue to watch as we move forward because we are going to be learning about some exciting stories that God has taught us in His Word in the next couple weeks. This week, we're learning about a famous prophet who was thrown into a lion's den. Do you know who that is? That's right. It's the prophet Daniel. Now, some of you might remember that Daniel was one of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's friends. All four of them were stolen away from Judah when Babylon conquered the southern kingdom. And as little boys, they were brought to the king's palace and tested by the king. But they put their faith in God, and God made them wise, well beyond their years. And the king recognized that God had blessed them, and they all had powerful positions in the city. Now Daniel was a faithful man, and every day he would rise early and pray towards Jerusalem, the city of his birth. And in the middle of the day he would face Jerusalem and pray again. And at night he would pray towards Jerusalem again. Every single day he would face Jerusalem and pray 3 times. Now, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel had people who did not like him because he was too powerful. So they tried to find a way to trip Daniel up and make him suffer. Now, they knew that there was nothing he ever did that was wrong because he was a good man. The only thing that was different about him was how much he loved his God. So there were these enemies of Daniel who got together, and what they did was they convinced the king to make a decree that everybody had to worship just the king for a certain period of time. However, Daniel chose to continue to pray facing Jerusalem 3 times a day. And when the enemies of Daniel saw that he would not stop honoring God no matter what the law said, they went and told the king, and they had Daniel thrown into a lion's den. But you see, there was a little problem because the king really loved Daniel, and the king himself tried to save Daniel. But the king had to follow the law that he had written. And so as Daniel was being thrown into the lion's den, the king said, "Daniel, may the God that you pray to save you." And they threw Daniel into the lion's den, and they shut the top of the den. And all night the king, who loved Daniel very much because he was a good friend, prayed and prayed and prayed, hoping that God would save Daniel in the lion's den. And in the morning, they went to the lion's den, and they rolled back the top of the den. And the king yelled down and said, "Daniel, was your God able to save you?" And from the pit they heard Daniel say, "Yes, O king. God sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions because he knew that I had done no wrong to you and that I was faithful to him." You see, Daniel knew what the law said. Daniel knew that he could be punished because he believed in God. But Daniel knew that he needed to fear God, be faithful to God, and put his trust in God over anything else. And he was faithful to God, and God rescued him from the mouths of the lions. Now, we're going to learn a little bit more about this in the verse of the week. Mr. Iden, let's go to you.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Iden, and welcome back to the verse of the week. We just learned about Daniel in the lion's den and how God sent angels to close the mouths of the lions because Daniel was a faithful man who put his faith and trust in God. We read more about this in Daniel chapter 6, verse 10. Here's what it says. Now, when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened towards Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Okay, great. Now say it with me. Now, when Daniel had learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Great job. Now, what's so amazing about this story is that while everyone else in Babylon greatly feared the king, Daniel only feared and loved God, who he knew was the true king. Now, the law said that Daniel could not worship or pray to God, but Daniel was not going to disobey God no matter what anyone else said. And when Daniel did get punished for it, God was able to save him from the lion's den because Daniel had put his trust in God. I love you guys. Thanks for joining me for another verse of the week, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mr. Iden. We always love learning about the verse of the week, and now we're going to learn about the animal of the week. Miss Laurel, let's go to you.
Hey everyone, Miss Laurel here back with another animal of the week. This week's animal is a species of cat that lives in North America and depends on hunting for survival. Do you know what it is? That's right, it's the mountain lion. Mountain lions are animals with excellent hunting skills and a strong bite. Since they are mostly active at night, the mountain lion has an adaptation that helps them see in the dark for hunting. The mountain lion will silently sneak up on its prey, and when it's ready, it will pounce. Mountain lions are also very agile, which means they can run really fast and jump really high. In fact, they can run up to 50 miles per hour and leap 15 feet up a tree. Mountain lions can be found in North America and can live in the mountains, deserts, or forests. Now, Babylon doesn't have mountain lions, they have regular lions. But since we live in North America, we wanted you to know that we have lions here too. Lions are known for being powerful, and people fear the power of lions. But Daniel only feared God. Daniel trusted in God, and he was delivered from the power of the lions. Thanks for joining me for another Animal of the Week. See you next time.
Thanks, Miss Laurel. We always love learning about the animal of the week. And I hope that you guys take some time this week to read the story of Daniel in the lion's den with your family. And remember that no matter how much people might make fun of you or look down on you or even punish you for your faith in God, when we put our trust in our Savior and know that He is King above all other kings, He will protect us, He'll keep us safe, and He'll show us what He wants us to do, just like He did with Daniel. I hope you guys take some time to read that story as a family and are blessed by the things that God teaches you as you put your trust in Him, just like Daniel did. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. And remember, be blessed and be a blessing.